Hi, my friends. I just wanted to go over the Resurrection Day, about the strips of cloth, and kind of go into that a little bit more from my last video. Um, I find it very interesting that strips of cloth were used to when Jesus was a baby, um, that he was wrapped in linen cloth, strips of cloth, and then also when he was buried, he was wrapped in strips of cloth. Now, the burial of Jesus, Nicodemus, who had first come to him by night, also came bringing a mixture of myrrh and aloes, about 100-pound weight. Okay, and so they took the body of Jesus and they bound it in linen wrappings with the spices, as is the burial custom of the Jews. Now, in the place where he was crucified, there was a garden, and in the garden a new tomb in which no one had yet been laid. Okay, so the cross references of this you can find in Genesis 52, 2 Chronicles 16:14, Matthew 26:12, and Mark 14:8, Luke 24:12, John 11:44, John 12:7, John 25, John 27, Acts 5 and 6. Okay, so they wrapped his body, they carried him out, and they buried him. So when Peter and John were told by Mary of Magdalene that he is risen, that he's not in the tomb, the stone has been rolled away, they went running to the tomb. And John, being younger, a teenager, got there first because he's younger. And he went in and he looked. And then when Peter finally arrived, Peter went in and he studied. Now, when that happened is that, okay, you have the face cloth that was folded. And apparently that is a custom of the Jewish people. At the dinner table, when they leave the table, they fold their napkin. So that being evidence, also a sign, if you will. But if the body had, if the strips of cloth had this 100-pound weight of myrrh and aloes, and Christ was resurrected from that, it would perhaps leave like a shell. Okay, the body not being there, but the cloth, maybe not being completely depressed. You know what I'm saying? So I just find that so interesting that would be, if Peter saw that and John saw that, they would just go, how is that possible? You can't just take the body out without taking off the strips of cloth, So, I don't know, I just find that incredible and miraculous. But I haven't heard any minister really talk about that. And I think that that's very important for us Christians to have yet another piece of the puzzle, if you will, in support of our belief and knowledge of what had happened there, to support us in our faith, in our daily walk with God, knowing that he is alive, he's not there, he is gone, he is not at the tomb, he's not on the cross, he is with the Father on the right hand side of Father, and he lives in each and every one of us. So I just wanted to share that, with you. So that's John 19:40. You can read that as well. The burial of Jesus, verse 39 and 41. You know, whatever version of Bible you're reading. I prefer the old King James, but, you know, I also like the Greek Septuagint as well. So, yeah, I just thought I would share that with you, that little piece there. And my song that I still have a little bit of bronchitis, so I might not be able to sing as well as I have been doing, but just thought I would add, I'm still working on this song, so let's see. Angels in the sky, sent from heaven up above, sing the Lord with his love. Angels in the sky, sent from the Father above, sent to help us in our daily lives, sent with love. See, Jesus doesn't live on pages in a book upon a dusty shelf. Lives in each and every one of us. God's called to himself. Angels in the sky, sent from the Father up above, to help us in our daily lives, to minister to us. Angels were there in the beginning. Angels will be there at the end. Angels are not to be worshipped, and they're not to be married. Angels were made on the second day. Angels were sent to us. Angels were sent to minister and to interpret things to us. Angels in the sky, sent by the Father up above, sent to help us in our daily lives, sent by love. See, Jesus doesn't live on the pages of a book on a dusty shelf. He lives in each and every one of us. God's called to himself. Anyway, still a work in progress. I'm trying to just tell you more about angels and what their purposes are, and you know, we don't hear that much about angels, and we're not to worship them. They're not to be married. They're not to be you know, thought of as I mean, they're principalities, they're hosts. They have been sent by God to interpret dreams, to protect us, to bring us out of harm's way. They appear as men. That's why you should entertain strangers, because you don't know if you might be entertaining angels, and that kind of thing. So I just thought that maybe it would be nice to do a tribute song to God's host and his angels that are made a little bit above us, yet they serve us. And just as we are to serve others, I don't know, it's just kind of this whole full circle thing that I just seem to enjoy, knowing, you know, what Christ wants us to do. We are to decrease. He is to increase. We are to die to this way of life, to stop thinking just about ourselves, but to think about other people, to serve them, to help them, because Christ is in us. And the one thing that I have done ever since I was, like, you know, 8 years old, is that I don't really care about you know, superficial things, you know, like what I'm wearing or what I'm doing, or you know, I don't want to be come across like, you know, I'm interviewing, or, you know, trying to make it sound like I'm doing something just so wonderful and aren't I great. I don't want that. I want to say, hey, do you know what God's done to, you know, why he came, that what he's doing for you, what he can do for you, and what you can do for him, and that kind of thing, rather than just, you know, trying to make a fashion statement or trying to seem better than, because I just I don't see things that way. And I think that's because I do have Christ in me. And so, yeah, love wins out, basically, as the book talks about. And I think that it's important to show God's love to other people through your actions, through your words. And so, you know, if you die to yourself, then it's not something that you're going to have to learn at another time, you know, to do it now. When you give, you gain so much back from that experience. Agreed? Anyway, so just wanted to share that with you. Just thoughts for the day. Have a great day. Okay, bye-bye.